In 1944, naval engineers attempted what physics claimed was impossible, taking a full-size aircraft carrier and hiding it hundreds of feet underwater. It was a ghost warship designed to surface off the US coast, launch a strike, and dive before radar could lock on. It was the largest submarine built before the nuclear age, the colossal Japanese I-400 class. On paper, it was a masterpiece, but in the water, it was a mechanical nightmare that defied fluid dynamics. Storing planes underwater created a massive air bubble, ruined buoyancy, and created a fatal 15-minute exposure window. So why did every military abandon the underwater carrier? And why is modern technology bringing it back? Let's dissect 4 physics bottlenecks. To submerge, a submarine balances weight and water displacement to achieve neutral buoyancy. But an airplane hangar is essentially an 800-ton air bubble, permanently sitting on top of the hull. Under Archimedes' principle, this massive upward force constantly tried to flip the submarine upside down. To prevent capsizing, engineers had to pour hundreds of tons of solid lead into the bottom keel. While this stabilized the sub underwater, it made the vessel insanely heavy and sluggish. Turning maneuvers took miles. Emergency dive speeds slowed down to a dangerous crawling pace. Because the launch catapult sat on the starboard deck, the submarine was permanently lopsided. To fix the offset weight, architects designed an unusual figure-8 double-hull structure. This required filling asymmetric ballast tanks unevenly just to keep the submarine traveling straight. It was a manufacturing nightmare that required custom shipyard tooling and constant maintenance. Piloting crews had to constantly calculate real-time ballast shifts before and after every flight. If a plane launched, hundreds of pounds of weight vanished instantly, unbalancing the sub in seconds. High-speed pumps had to flood forward tanks immediately. This was to stop the sub's nose from popping out of the sea. Even with buoyancy physics solved, the real catastrophic failure didn't happen underwater. It happened the exact second the submarine broke the surface. A submarine's only true defense is stealth. But deploying aircraft completely destroyed it. Step 1. Surface the sub. Step 2. Unseal massive hydraulic hangar doors against sea pressure. Step 3. Roll the plane onto the deck and manually swing the folded wings into locking positions. Step 4. Charge a high-pressure pneumatic catapult to launch velocity. This deployment protocol took 15 to 30 minutes for just 3 small strike aircraft. During those 15 minutes, the submarine was a defenseless, stationary target, sitting on the ocean. With late W2I airborne radar, sitting exposed on the water for 15 minutes was suicide. An enemy patrol aircraft or destroyer could spot the sub and sink it before plane number 2 was launched. Launching was dangerous. Recovering the aircraft was a logistics disaster. Planes had to land on rough waves using floats, where a crane lifted them back up one by one. Saltwater spray instantly coated delicate engine turbines, avionics, and fuel injectors. Salt crystals cause immediate turbine corrosion, requiring hours of freshwater washing inside cramped hangars. If an enemy appeared during recovery, the sub had to ditch the planes and dive immediately, leaving millions of dollars in aviation technology abandoned on the surface. By the mid-1950s, engineers realized the entire concept was fundamentally flawed. Military strategists asked a core question: why build a sub to launch a pilot and a plane when you can simply launch the bomb itself? Enter the vertical launch system and the submarine-launched ballistic missile. Missiles are gas-ejected directly through the water column before rocket engines ignite in air. Eliminating runways, hangars, cranes, surface wing assembly, and radar exposure. A single missile sub can launch devastating strikes from hundreds of feet underwater in seconds. Unlike giant deck hangars, vertical missile tubes sit inside the primary pressure hull. They require 0 top-heavy air bubbles, 0 extra lead ballast, and 0 surface delay. This preserved perfect hydrodynamics, allowing modern subs to travel quietly at over 30 knots. Maintaining structural integrity against deep ocean crushing pressure without weak points. While a WWI plane carried 800 kilograms a few hundred miles, modern missiles reach thousands of miles. With satellite precision guidance replacing the human pilot completely. Compact drones are packed inside torpedo-shaped canisters and launched submerged. Upon reaching the surface, the capsule opens, unfolding wings and launching a micro-drone automatically, providing high-resolution aerial reconnaissance without exposing the submarine's location. Today, naval engineers are quietly reviving the concept using autonomous technology. Or so it seemed, until modern microelectronics changed the rules once again. Instead of giant surface planes, modern subs deploy stealth unmanned aerial vehicles. The guided missile rendered the traditional water aircraft carrier obsolete overnight. Navies are also building extra-large unmanned undersea vehicles that act as subcarriers. These giant robot subs carry modular payload bays, capable of launching secondary drone swarms, creating an interconnected digital surveillance network across the ocean surface and seafloor. Unmanned drones don't require slow recovery cranes or pilot life support systems. Allowing the mothership to remain hidden at maximum depth while controlling air operations. Preserving acoustic stealth. The absolute holy grail of modern submarine warfare. The underwater carrier didn't die. It traded human cockpits for AI microswarms. Which brings us back to the ultimate lesson of naval engineering. The WWI underwater aircraft carrier was a bold attempt defeated by physics. Vertical missiles solved long-range strikes without compromising pressure hull hydrodynamics. And micro-drones revived aerial vision without exposing human pilots to danger. But launching weapons is only half the battle. Surviving the ocean itself is far more terrifying. At 1,000 feet deep, water pressure exerts thousands of pounds of force on every square inch. A single microscopic weld defect can trigger catastrophic hull collapse in under 40 milliseconds. In Episode 2, we dissect the physics of deep-sea implosion and submarine pressure hulls. Subscribe now and click here to watch next.